Michoumakes here. We have had a very busy 2 or 3 weeks, and so I haven't been able to upload very much. I did do the first of the Lacala outfits, which Lacala jumpers, where it had the lace going like that, and I've shown you how I made it. But I haven't done the other one, and the other one that I've yet to do is this one, which is the 4885, which is that one, light shining right on it. If I cover that up, then you can maybe see that one. So I've got that yet to do. Just been so busy I haven't had a chance to do it, but I will do. What have I been doing? Well, we have been doing a lot of housey stuff, as in we've had the windows that we originally had were in the house before we moved, and we've lived here 20 years, and they were very leaky, and we kept saying we need to get them sorted, and we kept putting off, and eventually we decided to get them done. And so we've had new windows put in, and they still need new sills along the bottom, but we'll get those sorted. And then we've been down to visit my daughter. We went down to see her, and we went down to Southsea, which is on the very south coast next to Portsmouth. Now, I've been to Portsmouth before, and but I've never been to Southsea, which is just a little bit further along. You can actually see Portsmouth probably about half a mile away from where we were on the beach, and it was really nice. We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. Well, we're on our way down to see my daughter, and we've stopped at the services. That's the back of the services, and we are sitting outside on tables by the lake. His lordship is there, and it's a lovely day. It's breezy, but it's lovely warm. Breezy.
It's a gale.
It's not a gale.
It's a gale.
It's not a gale.
Well,
It's breezy.
Is it breezy?
Yeah, it's breezy. Quite nice. And so this is a nice welcome. It's halfway down the country, Donington services. We do like these services because you kind of don't feel you're in a services like the other ones. And look at that lovely grass, lovely green grass, and the lake. So there's lots, and round the other side is a nice green area if you have dogs, to take your dog for a walk. Well, I've just had a lovely avocado and green type of bread bun, and I've just got this, which is melon. Don't know if you can see. Can you see it there?
Yeah.
And there's a lime in it. Now, I don't know why they put a lime in. It might add a bit of flavour to the lime.
Is it a straight line?
It's a straight lime. Why?
Not a curved line.
Not a curved line. Well, it is curved, just curved on one side and straight on the other.
It's a curved line.
It's a curved line, you see.
Not a straight line.
Not a straight line. So we're going to try it, and I'll tell you what it's like.
It's like a breakfast.
I like lime, so this is going to be quite nice, this. Oh, try and get as much out as I can. So it adds the flavour.
Be careful, just be careful in case it's a railway line.
Oh. Dad jokes yet again. Dad jokes. So let's see what it tastes like. I don't get watermelon very often, so this is a pleasant change. Wow.
Very good.
It adds a bit of pizzazz to the melon, to the water. Pizzazz. And I bet you when I get to the bottom and I get to the juice, which I'm going to drink, I'll have melon and lime juice. Wow. I'll carry on eating. time down there. Then when we came back, we were getting the glass. Do you remember the broken glass on my conservatory from the storm in November? It's been put off and put off and put off. Not by us, by the window guys. And they were taking such a long time that in the end his lordship said, right, I'm going to try somebody else. And he tried this other person who changed the windows and then did the roof. And his lordship, I didn't want it at first, but I'm quite pleased that he's had it done. He's had the glass taken off the top of the conservatory, and we now have a proper roof. And the proper roof has 2 long windows. I wanted the long windows. He's cursed at them ever since. The men who were putting it up said, whose idea was it to have the windows? And he said, she did. He said she wanted windows. So I've got a roof, then a long window, then a piece of roof, then a long window. So I've got 2 long windows and a piece of roof. So I've got 2 long windows in the middle. And, we got that. They had at first said it was going to take 2 days. Then they said it was going to, no, at first they said it was going to take 3 days. Then they said it was going to take 2 days, and it actually took 5 days to get this sorted. So there was that. And then once they'd finished, the plasterer finished the job, we had to wait for that to dry, and then we had to paint. Well, painting plaster, as we remembered, because we had to paint plaster before, is a pain to do because it soaks up the paint. And I wanted to get good paint, he wanted to get decorators paint, the paint that the decorators go for. And he said, oh, it's the same stuff, it's just in a different tin. And I kept saying, I promise you, every time I bought that decorators paint, it's not been as nice as the good stuff. And he said, no, it will be, if they, the decorators always do it. And I said, yeah, but the decorators, for example, we got decorators to do my hall, and I wanted a pale grey wall, and it ended up being pale blue. The colour I picked on the card is nothing like the colour that they painted. And this is what I kept saying to them. Their paints are not the same as the paint that we want. So anyway, we opted for this paint, and then he was cursing and swearing because he had to do 3 or 4 coats on it. He kept saying, I've done that wall already, and you can see it's bitty. So then he would go over it again, and he'd say, and it's still bitty. So he'd go over it again, and he'd say, it's finally still bitty, but he'd touch it up in places. So we had that issue. And then he also bought some cheap masking tape to mask around the new windows that we have in the roof, so that you could paint, because the windows were like that. The windows are like that, and the plaster, they have a bit that comes down for the roof part. It goes like that, you see. So he taped all the way around there with this masking tape to stop the paint from getting on the glass. And when what didn't help was it was boiling hot. We were painting this in boiling hot weather, and as fast as you were painting it, it was drying in no time. And of course he masked up these windows, and I think he painted the windows, the edge of the windows in a day. And when he took the masking tape off, because it had been really hot, this masking tape glue had stuck to all the glass, and he went, oh no, it's stuck to the glass. So I had a bottle of stuff called sticky stuff remover, and he went standing on the step ladder trying to get up, and of course the window slopes up as well, so it's not just you can reach that bit, but to reach that bit's even higher. And so it was a killer of a job, and he still hasn't got it perfect. We're going to have to give the windows a good clean after this. And so we finally got them painted, the room painted, and had the floor, washed the floor, we polished the floor, we've cleaned, and oh, the cat, the furniture from that conservatory part was put into the other part of the room. And in order to store it, we had the dining table with a sofa on top, and the cat was sitting on top of the sofa. And she'd been sat on top of that sofa for about a week and a half. So when we actually got the sofa down, because I couldn't get up to clean it, when we got the sofa down, you would not believe how much white hair there was on that sofa. And of course his lordship decided he was going to do the hoovering, and he was cursing. He was going, flipping cat, I can't believe how much hair there is. And I was laughing and I said, well, you want to be thankful you're not doing this every day, because I have to do this every day. So anyway, we finally got this. Well, we haven't finished because we've done the conservatory. We've now put all the furniture back into the conservatory, and we've got to start on the room where the furniture was, because that's all, it's like an L-shaped room, so we need to get that started. But it has made us realise two things. The last time we got a decorator, because we're working, we got a decorator to come and do it, and we got a decorator to come and do the whole of the house. And recently we were saying, we need to decorate this house, we'll get going on it ourselves. And the one thing that I've found out is it's a killer. The older you get, the more of a killer it is. I mean, years ago I could rattle through a room in a day, gloss paint, 2 coats and everything. But the older you get, the harder it is. And standing on step ladders, because the step ladders, the rungs like that, and my foot's like that, it's not fully on the step ladder. The weight of that on my leg like that was causing my knee to hurt. So and he was saying, he says, my arm's aching with doing with going up on the ceiling. So we're just saying, oh, we're not looking forward to doing the rest of the house, so watch this space. I remember years ago going on holiday, and we met this policeman from Birmingham, and we were all talking about decorating, and he said, I don't decorate, I pay somebody else to do it. And we went, you're joking, you get somebody to do it? And he said, yeah. He said, I'm not no good at it. He said, I'd rather be out playing golf and have a decorator do my house and do it properly, and then if the wife complains, then she can blame the decorator and not me. And I thought, you know, he's right. He says, I'm not qualified to decorate. And I thought, he's right, you know. I would far rather be doing our things than painting. But anyway, we'll take our time over it. So we've been decorating. The reason why he wanted the roof put on, he decided to have a roof, was because a lot of our electricity costs are doubling and trebling. I think ours has gone up quite a lot. And so he figured that if we have an insulated roof, that might help cut our electricity costs down. And so we've done that. So that was the house things. Now then, I haven't been sitting here doing nothing. By the time I'd finished painting, and by the time I'd dealt with my little eBay orders, I wasn't in the mood for doing anything, so I decided that I would sew. And what I reflected on was the fact that I have a lot of fabric. And I was debating whether I should sell some of the fabric, and then I thought, you know, I bought the fabric because I liked it. So, and every time I picked something up and thought, should I sell it? And I thought, no, I like it. I don't want to sell it. So I have got a lot of fabric, and I thought, well, you know, one day I was looking in my wardrobe, and I have got a lot of clothes in my wardrobe, but the clothes that I have go back 20 years. I've got clothes I do not want to throw away because I still want to wear them when I lose weight. And as you get older, you do start losing weight eventually. So I know my mother went down to a weight she was when she was 18. My dad did the same. My mother-in-law's lost weight, and you end up getting back into the clothes that you want. So I'm looking forward to that, and I won't throw those clothes away. And also, as I showed you in a video a couple of episodes back, my sister has kept all her clothes from when she was 18 and 19, and her granddaughter has now selected quite a few of them and is wearing them herself. So it just shows you what goes around comes around. So I'm looking forward to when my granddaughters want to wear my clothes. Anyway, so I was looking at those clothes and I was thinking, well, I really ought to make things with this fabric that I've got, rather than get rid of it, rather than swap it, rather than do anything. So what I've done is I've taken quite a lot of the fabric, and I thought about it, and I thought, well, what do you wear the most? I've made a few dresses and I will continue to make some dresses because I've got some lovely fabric that I want to make dresses from. But I also thought, well, I wear a lot of tops. I wear trousers with a lot of tops. So I figured I ought to make a top. And then I thought to myself, well, what top will I make? I want a top that I can make quickly for starters, because I want to eat into that fabric stack that I've got. Not a great lot now. It is waning down, but there are certain things that I, that I really want to use up. But I thought there's one top that I keep my go-to top for speed, for making quickly, and for liking the way it is when it's finished, and for the hang of it, the cut of it, everything about it. And the one top that I like is a pattern that I've spent about 4 days looking for and I can't find it. I don't know where it is, I don't know where it's gone to, but fortunately somewhere along the journey of my pattern cutting and my pattern buying, I actually bought it again. So I bought it twice. And it's an indie pattern, and this time I had got it cut. I got it, I don't know why, but I figured I must have gone and got it printed on one of these big sheets. So I actually had it in this envelope, and so I sorted out of this envelope, and the pattern is the Belladonna top. Now I don't know if you can see that, the Belladonna top. There. I haven't got a picture, so I'll put a picture up there, the Belladonna top. I love that pattern. It's so quick to make. It takes, I've got it down to make it in about an hour to an hour and a half. So I can cut it out, sew it up, and be wearing it within an hour. This is not a Belladonna top, I have to say. This is a pattern trace of a Marks and Spencer's top that I had. I drew it out and I used that to make this top. I do have a little bit of chocolate on, and handy having a bust, because in here is where I keep my pen. This is my my phone pen, because I'm sick of my finger getting prodded. So this is where I keep my phone pen, and I also keep my cards. If we go out sometimes, I put my credit card down there. It's a handy place to keep it. So, what was I saying? So I decided to do the Belladonna top. So the first one I made was using fabric that Renee had sent me. I made two from fabric that Renee had sent me, and the first one was a maroony purple, and I liked it. And I immediately thought, this is lovely. When I finished it, I thought it's lovely. So then I did a maroony, one of those. She also gave me some fabric that was like a whole full pattern, the whole pattern thing, like a pattern panel. And when I laid it out, there wasn't enough to do it the way out to try and get a panel at the front and a panel at the back. I think there was only 1.5 panels or something. And the way that the pattern was, it was slightly different. The half panel was slightly different. So I figured, right, let's do the front panel one way, and let's put a seam in the back panel. So the seam in the back panel is a black stripe that goes down, and the front panel doesn't actually catch the panel. It actually has a sideways pattern. So you'll see it looks really nice. I wasn't sure what it would turn out like, and it turned out really well, so I'm really pleased with that. So then I had a little bit of fabric, just a little square of fabric left of that paisley type panel pattern, and what I decided to do was fold it in half, so it was like a triangular handkerchief, and it was about that size. And then I had a little piece of fabric left, and I made a loop on the end. So I had this folded in half and sewn it right sides together, turned it inside out, so it was just a triangle with a fold along the top and the seams down there. Close the seam down there, and then I attached this little loop to the side, and so I could put it around my neck and pull the thing through the loop, and I had this scarf, and it goes lovely with the purple top, the plain purple top, and it goes lovely with the pattern top. So I'll show you a little video of what that looks like. Then I decided I have some stripy fabric that I've been wanting to use for a long time, never got round to using it. So I figured, right, I'm going to make a stripy top with it. And the amount of fabric I had, I didn't have enough to get both. It's meant for the front and the back to be on the fold, and I couldn't get on the fold. And the way that the pattern is, the same pattern as your front and your back. I'll show you what I mean. This is the front and the back, and basically you cut down lower for one, then this is the back, and you cut down lower for the front. So I figured, and that's supposed to be on a fold, so I thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to have one of them cut down and seamed down the front or down the back. And it was intended to be the back seam. And I pattern matched the lines, but there was a slight, I think it's only about a fraction of a millimetre out. One is slightly higher than the other, just a fraction. It was just a fraction was out. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? Because it was really bugging me, and I knew I could unpick it. But because I was trying to get as many done as I could, I thought, I'm not going to unpick it. It's not that bad. But then I thought, well, I haven't just got fabric I've got to use up. I've got lots of tapes, lots of braids, lots of other things. So I figured, let's make that the front, because what I had done was I had kept them both the same height on the neck. And then I thought I'd wait and see what I wanted to do, whether I wanted the seam at the front or at the back. So I decided I'd have it at the front and do the red braid down the front here. And I did that, and I thought it looked lovely. So, and then I did my cuffs on here, really, really nice. So that was the second one. The third one was, the third one was some floral jersey, cotton jersey that I had. And I loved the cotton jersey, I loved the floral pattern, but from the moment I finished it, what did I do? I decided I was going to do a bias binding on the neck. And I thought I'd do a fuchsia pink bias binding and have the bias so that it came out on the front. So that was fine, but when I did the top, it looked okay. I'll put a video of me doing it. It looked okay, but I couldn't help thinking it looked like a nightie, like a night dress. Even though it's the same pattern, same setup, shows you how different fabrics can have different effects. It just felt like it was nightie, and I thought, I'm not going to wear this if it's like this. So I figured one of my favourite top, well, I've got two tops that I like wearing, is the one where it's fabric, pattern fabric, but I've got a black faced collar which comes to the front, and it's black, it comes down to a V. So I thought, right, go into my scrap and get my black t-shirt fabric out, my black cotton t-shirt fabric, and I cut some fabric out and I made a V here. So it's a nice deep black V, and I'll show you what that looks like. sure if it's going to be night dress material. I'll try it. If I keep feeling uncomfortable in it, it will end up being going into my night dress drawer at my bottom drawer, which is my night dress drawer. So that one I was a bit iffy about, but it will be worn. If it's not worn in the daytime, it'll be worn in the evening. Then I was doing some gardening the other day, and I have a big problem with gardening. I love gardening, but I have to, when you're doing a front garden and all the other people can see you, and we are all, quite a lot of us are retired or work from home, so you know that they're watching out the window. And when I'm gardening, I've got two things I've got to be careful of, that I'm aware of. I must not bend over when I'm picking up weeds. I mustn't bend over in the position so that my bottom's sticking up, because I can imagine them saying, God, have you seen the bottom on her? And the other one is, when I do bend over, my boobs drop out, so I've got to keep going like that and pulling my bra up to hold them in. So I figured, oh, for goodness sake, I need to make something that I feel less noticeable in, that I'm trying to discreet. Well, I don't just, I'm kind of, when I'm doing it, I'm discreetly turning away from the windows and trying to pull that up there and trying to pull it up. But then I thought, how about some dungarees, like my father used to have whenever he went in the garden? He used to wear dungarees. Not dungarees, but overalls, where you put your hands in, you fasten it up the front, a proper man's working overall. And I was debating whether to order one and get one myself, and then I thought, well, why not make one? But then I changed my mind and I decided I'm not going to make one. I decided I wouldn't make an overall, I'd make something similar. So I ended up making Karamia Mai, and I can't remember what's her name. Karamia, I can never remember her name, hang on. Making a top that I've done before, which was the caladium, the Karamia caladium. I don't know if you can see that. The caladium Karamia. Or the Karamia caladium jumpsuit, that's it. The Karamia caladium jumpsuit. And I'll put a picture up there to let you see. And it has a V on one side and a square neck on the other. But I didn't like the square neck one, so I decided I'd do a V on that side and a V on the back. Now the V on this side looks nice because my boobs push it out nicely, but there's no boobs at the back, so it kind of goes a bit lower. Nothing wrong with that. I didn't match the spots. I foolishly cut it out and then thought, oh no, you should have matched the dots, but I didn't. And so I made this, and I wanted to make it long, so it's quite long to the floor. And once I'd made it, I thought, this doesn't look like something I could wear in the garden. It looks more like something I should wear before I go to bed. Because I can't see me going out with that in a daytime, you know, it's not the kind of clothing that I would wear to go out. So I just thought, well, might wear it for the back garden, not so sure about the front garden, and if the worst comes to worst, it will go up into the bottom drawer where the night wear is, and it'll be worn at bedtime. I do like it, but I'm just not sure it's really me. And to be fair, I made the other two and I felt the same way, so why I made a third one I don't know, but c'est la vie, that's the way things are. I did like the two that I made, but I haven't worn them very much, so I'm very conscious of the fact that if I don't wear this in the garden, I wanted to make a plain pair, but I thought, oh, I'll use that spotty fabric up. So if it doesn't get used for in the garden, it'll get used for before I go to bed, when I come out the bath, or when I've had a shower and just to get ready for bed. that's what I did with that. Now then, what else did I make? Well, I think I'll sit, because I've gone on for a bit too long and I want to spread this out. I'll tell you tomorrow or the next day what else I've been making. So I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.